Good morning. The reason I'm doing this video is because I had a private message, which is fine, saying, well, that's all very well running a loco over one piece of track. What's it like on other points? Because I guess the inference is that I've spent hours repairing one piece of track and the loco isn't going to run over other points, over other sidings in the same way. But it is just your track. Now, one thing I will say is, I'm not saying to people, trying to tell them what kind of points they should use, whether they use Insulfrog or Insulfrog. It's none of my business, absolutely none of my business. People spend their money on what they want to spend their money on, and it's up to them. All I'm trying to do is to show you that if somebody's sitting behind a fancy railway sign and telling you that the problem is your points, then they're not correct. And I've slowed this down as much as I can here. God, it's on the verge of stopping, and it isn't. And you can see here the engine is barely turning and it's gone over the different sets of points, and that is slow, that is really slow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a digital locomotive on here and do the same thing to show you that it's not a figment of your imagination. And so what we'll do now, we'll wind it round the truck and I'll take it off the track and I'll get a digital locomotive. Thank you. Now, I've been asked a question, it's a fair question. Is it the same for a digital locomotive? So people watch Leadenhall going through some sidings and they've asked, is it the same for a digital locomotive? Well, here you are, a Bachmann Ginty LMS, and there you can see it's on speed level 1. If I show you the speed step, it's 1 to 8, which is the highest denomination you can have. Speed level 1. There's a whistle. Another whistle. So you've seen that. That's speed level 1. That's the slowest I can drive this digital locomotive. These are all Peco Insulfrog points, and you can see there's no brake in the Insulfrogs. It's all exactly as you see it, full 4K widescreen, so you can watch it and you can see there is no trickery here. And we'll even change direction on the Insulfrog. Here you go. And that's speed level 1. And I could run it all over this all day long. Now, I'm not trying to tell people what points or whether they should run Electrofrog or Insulfrog points. What I'm showing them is the facts, and then people can decide what they want to do for themselves. And the facts are, as that digital locomotives will run over Insulfrog points without any problems. Now, I was told at a model railway gathering that I needed Electrofrog points to run digital locomotives. And the guy believed what he was saying. Now, whether he was quoting what he'd seen on social media, I've no idea. So if anybody tells you you need Electrofrog points to run digital locomotives, well, I'm showing you you don't. And because it's in 4K, you can see the plastic, you can see that these are Insulfrog points. And I was put off from buying digital locomotives because I got Insulfrog points. And this was the first one I bought, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And here we are. Badly laid track, 9 times out of 10, is the root of all evil. Here we go back. We'll take it into the other siding. It really is the root of all evil. And a £2 with double O, a £2.50 small spirit level will tell you about your track. Now with N-gauge, because the track adjustment is a lot more finite, so 1mm is equivalent to 3 inches in the real world. So you imagine if your track on the level is 2mm out, that's 6 inches in the real world. Now you imagine what a loco would run like in the real world with track with a 6-inch dip. Now people either don't appreciate this or they're probably not told. They're probably not even told about the lane of the track. I bet there's even people sent locos back because they think they're faulty and it's their track. But we've all been there, you know, you have a loco that doesn't run, you know, you spent all this money, it's stopping, it's jerking, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, I've spent all this money, especially on digital locomotives where you can spend over 300 quid and the damn thing doesn't run right, and you're pulling your hair out. You really are. But if your track's level, and this is a long video but it has to be, because if I speed it up people are going to say I'm cheating. And this is speed setting 4. The only thing you would have to do with Insulfrog points is if you wanted, oh yeah, actually I didn't want it to go down there. If you wanted to have, say, 1, 2, 3, 4 digital locomotives steaming away in a yard like they used to, then you would have to have droppers. Which, for those that do not know, is that with here you would put a power source there, to keep them alive, because obviously with Insulfrog points you cut the power off. But the great thing about Insulfrog points is you can't see them because I've focused on this piece of track, but I've got Analogue locos sitting in the siding and they're insulated, and I will show you on one loco quickly what happens. So I'm going to stop this, I'm going to put a cheap Analogue loco on the track, courtesy of Hornby's Model Railway Club, and you can see it's insulated. So look, if you're running digital and you've got Analogue in the sidings, okay, so we'll stop this, turn the noise off. This is what happens. Ready? Hear that? That is that locomotive, an Analogue locomotive, receiving a digital current, and we'll do it again. Here, and there you can hear. So if people say to you, oh, you can't have Analogue locomotives on the track when you're running digital, not true. There you go. So I'm showing you all these things so you can see with your own eyes. And that's the great thing about Insulfrog points. I mean, I've got a line of Analogue locomotives here. I can run the digital and they insulate them. The only thing one thing I will say is that Insulfrog points will not protect an Analogue controller. So if you leave your Analogue controller connected, if you're running both, and you turn the digital on, you will blow up your Analogue controller. But Insulfrog points will protect a locomotive and not damage it. And you've all seen mine run fine. Anyway, look, thank you for watching. And as I say, I'm not trying to say to people what you should not run. It's your money, your coin. You do exactly what you wish to do. All I'm doing is showing you how something works. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has been informative. Thank you.